What's poppin', everyone? Welcome back. We are back. Okay. Goodness gracious. We made my coffee. This is leftover slash new. You know what I'm saying? Like, anyway, let's get started. Remember last time, guys, when literally I could not finish the book because I was having this caffeine panic attack. I was having a panic attack, but low key having a panic attack. Okay. All right, let's go live on TikTok. Okay. What's poppin', guys? Probably already see. Now we need to go up my tripod, set it up here. Okay, this is part 5, I believe. Oh wow, he's in Zimbabwe. Boy, he's Zimbabwe. That's so nice. Period. Get you some. Okay. All right, guys. So we are picking up where we left off. Then we're about to get ready for work. So this is chapter 4, still the same. Say 4 to 5. I would say 4. It's basically 4 because I have to pick up where I left off. Hello, everyone. We are live currently on YouTube and on TikTok. So let's get started. We have no time to waste. We have been wasting a lot of time. We don't need to waste anymore. So, hey, all right. Because this little TikTok gadget, you know what I'm saying, and my nails. Crazy. So I'm gonna push a button to go. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna connect. Okay, I think the coffee is definitely settling in again, but this time I've done. Ow! I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. I did not mean to. Get this. Okay. So let's see. I feel like it'd be best if it's getting a little hot in here. It's getting hot in here. So take all your clothes. I am getting so hot. I wanna take my clothes off. Do I? No, I don't. All right, let's get started. Back and better. I took a break from my lunch bag yesterday, so you know there's a lot of different things in here. I don't even know. Oh, popcorn bag. Oh, this is clean, right? Yeah, it's clean. Prepare. Does it matter? Yeah, it does not matter, but I'm still wearing my scarf today. But okay, anyway, we have to go. So here are my thank you cards, bro. I've been like, if only I took my lunch back yesterday, I didn't have to struggle with finding that. This is kind of my work bag. I need to like start like. I love color matching, but also I figured out that like when like colors show up, it kind of like shows me the chakra that I should focus on. Because I am getting so hot, I wanna take my clothes off. What is that? Oh, I got okay. All right, y'all. Let's get started. Um, okay, everything that needs to be in here is gonna be in here. Yeah, bringing this to work. Let's get started. We were on page 70, I believe. Okay. Let's start. Let's just get to the point because we're already what 4 minutes in. Apologies. So I'm going to read the last page just to kind of get some context. But basically, we're starting off on a whole new story. And then from chapter 3, the people who reach goals are the ones who do what they themselves have decided to do from their own hearts, not because of pressure from others. The Bible agrees with the research when it says, "A man's heart plans his way, but the Lord determines his steps." Proverbs 16:9. So again, guys, disclaimer: this is for educational, purely educational and entertainment purposes only. This is just for fun, and also this is a Christian author. I'm also currently studying the Quran, so I know that there's a lot of people who aren't religious or not even Christian, Catholic, or whatsoever spiritual at all, and that is okay. We respect that, but we have to respect each other. We can do whatever, we have the free will that everyone knows that we do have, but let's respect. Okay, our hearts and God guide us, not the opinion of others. Period. Okay, my opinion is irrelevant. Again, I'm not a teacher, certified, whatever you yet, but right now, educational fun, entertainment personally, whatever. I'm going to keep repeating. This does not mean that successful people ignore correction and input from others. Far from it, actually. As we saw with Bill Hybels, the most internally directed people are the most open to feedback. Why? Because they do not fear it. They welcome it and use it to become better directed internally. When it is good, they make the feedback a part of them, which is way different from trying to live up to the expectations of others, as they make changes um, based on feedback. They are not trying to please the ones who provided the feedback. They are trying to become better versions of themselves. It turns out that seeking people's approval is one of the things that God warns us about over and over. Proverbs 29:25. I'm going to set this down, but I need to remember to put cinnamon in it because that's what I've been needing to do. It turns out, yep, over and over, Proverbs 29:25 says, "The fear of the man is a snare." Paul says that if he were seeking approval of men, he would not he would no longer be a servant of Christ. See in Galatians 1:10. Jesus unpacks this further and gives a stronger warning. In the strongest language, woe to you when everyone speaks well of you. Luke 6:26a. NIV. Damn enough loud. Ooh wee, you can probably hear from the cross the house. Reasons not to please everyone. There are so many reasons not to please everyone that is hard to list. That is hard to list them all. Okay. We talked about seeking approval. Oh my god, I was supposed to. Okay, hold on, guys. I have to have this on Cluely as well. I have. Not sponsored by the way, but I've been wanting to remember to use this because a motherfucker is lazy to, what I'm saying, all the time writing shit down, your hands get tired, and plus got nails like I'm a lady, I'm kidding. That is so stuck up, girl. I don't mind doing it. I do not mind doing, oh, yeah. But let me pause for a minute because that just reminded me, and plus I have to get ready for work in just a few moments, so this is gonna have to, for me to just read just a little bit faster than usual. I am getting so hot, I wanna take my clothes off. What is this? Okay, sorry guys, I don't know why this is taking so long, but you know what? I'm not about to keep vlogging in, you stupid. Sorry, I'm just it is pretty hot in here because I have the heater, but still, because I am getting so hot. I wanna take my clothes off. It's getting hot in here. Ooh, 5 people on at the same time, period. What's up? What's poppin'? What's like? I remember my friend. Last night we were talking. He said, "Greetings, dear." And I'm like, "What's poppin'? What's happening?" I'm like, "Oh, shoot. I'm not trying to be out no more. What is happening?" Okay, so if you're gonna ask me to pay for a subscription, I'm not doing that shit. I don't care. Because you're pissing me off with this shit. I have you, I've been logged in, and I just don't understand, because we were just 10 minutes left. You know what? Fuck that. Okay, hi. Hold on. Hello? Hi. Hello. So we are now starting, and I will go ahead and read the book. We are basically trying to get a summary of everything that is being taught and the main key points of this book. As I read it word for word, I would allow you to please sum up and keep the key spiritual direct points of the reasons never to go back, with the transcript of basically 10 things that we will never do again, but list of key details that support the 10 key factors and main points of why we should never go back as a spiritual human collective. We respect the boundaries of everyone's spiritual knowledge, and if you're not religious, that's okay. But again, this is by a Christian author, so if you hear, spiritual, yeah, then you know. This is for purely educational and entertainment purposes only. Where's the transcript, babe? I'm trying to see if you caught what I just said. I okay. I don't think you caught what I said. Hello. Oh my god. See this AI shit. I'm not even gonna cap to you. You like, like okay, no, because you're helping me. I shouldn't be. I shouldn't be giving a fuss. 9. Oh, okay. Let's resume. I'm sorry. I didn't know that you was listening. Okay, hi. Okay, let's keep going. Reasons not to please everyone. There are so many reasons not to please everyone that it is hard to list them all. You have like 9 minutes, so I'm gonna hurry up. We've talked about how seeking others' approval steals time, energy, and focus. And beyond that, Jesus um, shows us that it would never be even worse if you were. It would be even worse if you were able to pull it off. Number one, how would you have? You would have to be multiple people. If you were able to make everyone like you, by definition, you would have to be more than one person. You would need to be more than one person with one group to meet the expectations, another person to meet another group's expectations. And if you try to keep parents, friends, church members, and everyone else liking you and approving of everything you do, you will have to be several contradictory people living in one body. This is the definition of duplicitous people and the epitome of what psychologists call lack of identity. It leads to all sorts of emotional, relational, psychological problems, as the Bible puts it. This kind of person is unstable in all his ways. James 1:8 HCSB. And psychological research finds this over and over. You would have to make the number two, you'd have to make the wrong people happy. And worse than that, if you are making everyone happy, you are also making some of the wrong people happy. You'll be trying to please people who are judgmental or controlling or arrogant. People who require others to do what they want them to do before they extend approval. So, to keep hurtful people happy, you must do some things that are not good in the long run. You have to make some bad choices to keep those people smiling. For example, if you lead a team of people and have one person on your team who is self centered or controlling, that person will only be happy when you make decisions that meet her individual interests or agenda. And when you need to decide something that is best for the entire team, that person will be unhappy. And if she does not get what she wants, if she does not get what she wants, so if your goal is to keep her happy, you must make decisions that are not good for them, good for the team. The people who are the hardest to please are often the most self centered and are only happy when you do what is good for them. And that is usually not good for the whole. So when God tells us that we are in trouble, big trouble, and when we are pleasing everyone, He gives us one of the most important principles to making life work. And the people who do make life work make decisions based on what is best, not as not on who is going to like it, but are some examples of the wise but unpopular choices. Choosing a profession that is right for you, even even if your family or friends would like for you to do something different, standing up to hurtful behaviors such as addictions, abuse, even if the addict gets upset, leading teams and organizations in the ways that best reaches the vision, I'm sorry, even if some people do not get what they want or do they or like it. Yep, when I get stuttering and I'm stumbling over my words, you know that damn coffee hit me already. So I'm gonna slow down, even though it's at the best temperature right now. Pretending your children, see, parenting your children well and being able to say no to the child who wants to do something that is not good for them. Refusing to do unethical, immoral, or illegal things that someone in power, such as a boss, friend, or even a family member, wants you to do. So I'm gonna be honest here. Like I don't want to share my personal experience. Oh, let me talk in a regular accent. I don't want to talk in like like a egotistical way, but I was in a kind of a thing where we knew what it was, but it was also kind of manipulated. Like no matter what, the human, like I feel like in the human, never mind. Actually, let's just go. I apologize, but I only have a few minutes for AI to help me like create the things here. So parenting your children well and being able to say no to the child who wants to do something that is not good for them. Refusing to do unethical, immoral, or illegal things that someone in power, such as a boss, friend, or even a family member, wants you to do. Telling someone a necessary truth about their behavior that is hurtful to themselves, others, or the family or the team. Well, if it's hurtful, you should rephrase it. Making decisions that are right for you, for your own family unit, even if it displeases parents or in laws, such as to spend a holiday or to go to church. Handling unpopular decisions. Recently, I met up with two different large family businesses in the same week. The contrast that between them was stark. One of them was seriously divided by dysfunction. The other was united through strong, ongoing relationships. In this particular week, both families were making some significant decisions that would affect their family members. In the dysfunctional family, the father had been avoiding dealing with an issue because of one of the people in the family would not like what it had to be done. For a couple of generations, he had tried to make everyone happy, and he'd allowed these relatives to think that if they were not happy, something must be wrong. They had learned to believe that being unhappy with a particular situation equaled being mistreated. Fearing the displeasure, he had been paralyzed for quite a while, and it was causing the company and the rest of the family. But now he had realized that the issue could no longer be avoided and that continued avoidance would make matters even worse. So he finally made a decision and called a meeting, excluding the affected family. Then he made the mistake of instructing those present not to let the affected family unit know about it. He said, they will not be happy about this, but we have to do it. So let's keep it to ourselves. They will probably find out at some point, but don't let them know. Don't tell them now. I cringed. I had the feeling that a key never go back awakening was needed in this family. The thought went through my mind loud and clear. This is not going to end well. There's a lot of things that we have to remember that things are not going to end well when we start something. Okay. Not only was the affected family not going to like it, they would feel betrayed and kept in the dark, all because of the father was afraid of making them. Yeah, man, it's better to know now. Just reword it or like give it some time, but like give it some time for them to process, let it dissolve a little bit, let it simmerate. And they're as humans, we're all going to have different feelings and things toward a certain situation. But I really feel like the earlier, way better. Like that phrase, sooner rather than later. Okay, it was easily apparent why this family had did all the pain it did, from division to conflicts between adult siblings to competitiveness. They had created much unnecessary turmoil over the years. Why? They avoided honest discussion about difficult decisions because someone would be unhappy. When they were focused to deal with serious issues, like in this instance, they would use secrecy and triangulation. Wow, that's some big words. And that would rather divide the family. They had not learned the principles that not everyone can always have in their way, and that the group needed to work together for purposes larger than themselves. They had never learned what my kids learned in preschool. You get what you get and you don't get upset. Well, it's also you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. That's how I remember. Right after I met with them, the other family who had almost the exact same issue to deal with, it involved the use of family resources and a decision that was going to limit them. Like the first family, it was a decision that had to be made and that it was unpleasant. A few members of the family were not going to like it, but unlike the first family who was not afraid of pleasing, and everyone, sorry, excuse me, Lord, ooh, everyone and kept difficult decisions secret, the family leader did the absolute opposite, exactly the opposite. The father said something like this: "Okay, this is what we have to do, but do not talk about it until I have the chance to let others know. They're not going to be pleased with this, and I want to make sure they hear it from me directly and not find out some other way. It is going to be very difficult for them to accept, so I want to let them know up front." My eyes misted. It was like seeing the true meaning of holiness acted out in real relationships. A moment when we get a glimpse of the way God designed life to be. Okay, let me see. It was an example of love, people caring enough to be honest with one another. Oh, yes. Okay. Even if the other person was not going to like what they had heard. The father did two things well. Firstly, he was not afraid to do what was best and needed to be done, even if some people would not like it. But second, he intentionally took the news directly to those who were not going to like it. He risked not pleasing them. He risked their not being happy. He risked their not being happy with them. He loved them enough to tell them the unwanted news directly. He loved them enough to risk their disapproval. See, that is such a good perspective, bro. Like, I love this, man. Like, this perspective. Then I saw a big picture. The fruitfulness of this family, experienced in so many areas, was no accident. They had done well because they had done things the way God designed life to be lived. They made decisions based on what was right and what was best for everyone, and not necessarily what would please everyone, as difficult as it was. Brother, how do we take a screenshot? How do we take a screenshot? Because I'm using all of my electronics, so I think that I really need to do a better job at cleaning the other phone for like information and just like spiritual and educational knowledge strictly. But there's just so much junk on it from like the past, and it's like I just want to throw out everything. I do. I have things that are also on my other phones that are like bro, come on. Pleasing father or not. One of the hardest decisions I ever had to make was the year I graduated from college. As I mentioned before, I had been in accounting and a finance major. Yep, I remember. Thinking if I did not pursue a career in the golf world, I would go into business like my father, or perhaps law school. But halfway through college, I had a deeper faith experience, and I felt God was clearly telling me to switch my major to psychology and pursue a career in that field. My father was not telling me the same thing. The first bump came when I changed my major. He was not ballistic about it, but he wondered what in the world I could possibly do with a psychology degree. It seemed so impractical to him, but through a lot of discussions, I convinced him that there was work to be found if I went to graduate school. Still, I could tell the path was not clear to him, and I remember feeling a bit out over my skis. Not only was I unsure about where this was all headed, but I was not confident that I had his approval. I knew that he put his high value on a college education that prepared you for life, and he always wanted me to be prepared. To him it seemed like I might be squandering my opportunity. Nevertheless, I continued my new path. The bigger bump became when I graduated. All of my friends were going to work for great companies and pursuing bright futures that had seemed very well defined. I was not one of those. It was clear to me that God was leading me into psychology of some sort, but I had a lot of questions about the field and exactly what I could do. I wanted more clarity, and I wanted more to understand what I was getting into, so I decided I needed some real hands-on experience. The problem was that you can't really do much with an undergraduate degree in psychology. It takes a master's or a PhD to work in the field at a professional level. So my father's concerns had proved true. I was a college graduate, but I was unprepared to do much in my chosen field. All I knew was that God had led me to this point and that I had to continue to follow his leading. What do I do? Through a lot of prayer and events, it became clear. Cool. I like where this is going. to go to work in a psychiatric hospital. Oh my goodness, that's what I was doing. So I think that I definitely want to go back into the psychiatric unit, but probably I would have to do something different. Like, I think the reason why I've applied to all those things and positions of what I did in the past, yes, usually I do get lucky and I get like a third chance and I get to do things 3 times in a row. But this time, I think that I'm heading in the right direction of being able to do what my calling is, but also it takes in life we get in different positions with different propositions and perspectives. Okay, period. So, I went to go work in a psychiatric hospital to learn more about the field. What time is it? Ooh, 10:28. But the only job I could get in a psych hospital without an advanced degree was an entry level orderly. Ooh, Lord. I've heard so many stories of people having the most highest advanced degrees and just getting a regular job, a regular job. That would be a great experience. Oh, since besides delivering food trays and taking vital signs, I would get to observe a ton just by being there. That is a great perspective, man. This author is great. Sitting in the groups and helping the staff implement goals and treatment plans with patients, I would learn so much about the field. It would be great learning and clarifying. It would be a great learning and clarifying experience. Where I just realized I have a few emails to make before I go to work, but right now I need to finish this chapter. There was just one problem. It had paid about $3 an hour. Oh, honey, babe. Oh, can we just talk about that? But no, actually, we ain't gonna talk about it because that's out of our control. Ooh. Okay, so yeah, $3 an hour, not enough to live on, and not enough to convince my father that my expensive college education had not been squandered. I would have to take on extra work just to pay my bills, even with a college degree. Oh goodness, that's the story in reality. My accounting major friends were getting high-paying jobs and joining private country clubs. I was collecting half-eaten breakfast trays served to anorexics and who didn't want to eat them. I was not yet the college grad who would make my dad proud. Ooh, oof, I'm getting sweaty, but good thing I have my rose natural butter deodorant. When I told him that I was going to, when I told him what I was going to do and what I would be getting paid, I wouldn't have told him how much I'm getting paid, babe. He just shook his head and said something like, I hope you know what you're doing. Ooh, that's a good, just straight, short, sweet, and simple, just to his credit, he did not interfere or threaten to disown me, but I do remember feeling that I was not making him happy. I had always wanted my dad to be proud of me, and this did not seem like a good lunch. It was a hard decision doing what I thought I needed to do, versus doing something that would make him proud. Somehow I stuck with it and took the hospital job. I went in extra early every morning to eat the breakfast the anorexics did not want. Getting free food was a nice perk. I scrounged and did carpentry and other work at night and on the weekends to pay for life. But through this time, I continued to do something I will always be grateful for. I pursued what I knew I had to do, even if it was not what others thought I should do. I knew that it was right for me before God. Yeah, man. Like, I feel like I have been in the same position with literal life, like in general, like just like doing things my family was not proud. Like, I'm telling you, right? I feel this, but like not just in the psychiatric unit that he was working in the hospital, we both did, but in my certain life experiences, I have made choices that have not made my family proud. And I will be honest with you, I can see that from a perspective from which their consciousness level is at. No offense, I love my family dearly, but they were not living my life. They did not experience what I experienced and the level of experience I got to observe and to learn throughout those different layers of my life. Even though I'm only 20 years old, I know I'm still young and I still got a whole life ahead of me. But I endured a lot of hardships that I would see why, and I see their perspective on why they would judge me in the way they judge me. Because what I looked like was crazy. But the knowledge, the wisdom, and the amount of just where I'm at right now. Like, I don't think I would have traded my experiences for anything else because all those led me to this point and it only gets better from now. Even though I'm not perfect, I'm going to still probably make a few mistakes. I will, as everyone else will. I definitely don't regret the stupid decisions that I made in the past. So, but for this time, I continue to do something I will always be grateful for. I pursued what I knew I had to do. Whoa. um, Even if it was not what others thought I should do. I knew that it was right for me before God. The lesson I learned from this changed me. From this time changed me. I came to the very important realization that sometimes you can't do what others want you to do. You have to march to a different drummer. Okay, we're about to end this very soon, guys. The purpose that God has for you. You have to do the right thing, even when you might not please everyone else. After that year, excuse me, and what it gave to me, I never go back to letting people's expectations dictate my course. That time literally prepared me for the rest of my life, for the rest of my life's work. I do not think I would be doing what I am doing today if had not that year as a college grad working in a below poverty line job. It was one of the biggest blessings I have ever had. It made my entire career go in a different trajectory. So, that right there is something that most people will not be able to experience because they simply just choose not to do something. They don't just be humble. And I'm like, I've always, never really knew the real true meaning of humble because everyone was in your ear saying this and that, and that just goes for everything else. But when I tell you that, when you realize, you're not as bougie as you think, but it is the perspective of the way that you put yourself in. So, like, let me just, hold on. My father did not try to stop me and didn't give me a hard time. I'm thankful for that. He honored my choices and allowed me to experience the consequences. So, yeah, everyone, we already know that each thing we have a consequence. He did not bail me out of my difficulties, and my $3 an hour job presented. So I think that this is. Oh, we still got another page. Fuck. Let's just keep going then. But I fully understand that my pursuit did not live up to his expectations, and that was hard, but a great lesson for me. It was one lesson in learning to never go back. Choose the right master. So the Bible tells us that we have one master and one master only. We will all answer to God for our lives and the choices we make. Okay, so I agree with that to a certain extent, but I don't believe in masters that we should worship. I feel like we have. So the thing is, I'm not going to, but okay, never mind. But I will say it eventually. We will all answer to God for our lives and the choices we make. Yes. On that issue, the Bible is very clear. Each of us will give an account of himself to God. Romans 14:12 HCSB. I like the way Solomon puts it. When all has been heard, the conclusion of the matter is fear God and his commands because this is for all humanity. For God will bring every act to judgment, including every hidden thing, whether good or evil. Ecclesiastes 12:13-14. There's a huge awakening lesson in the passage above, a principle that can change the direction of your life. We tend to see accountability to God as being all about judgment, but in reality, accountability to God is an incredible guideline in the people pleasing department. The direction of our life can literally be saved if we live mindful of this truth. Since we will ultimately answer to God for our decisions, it will behoove us to remember that He's the one we need to please. If ever we think of forging what is best in order to please another person, this is the truth we need to fall back on. If pleasing God in our compass, and if I should probably charge my phone. If pleasing God is our compass, and if we know we'll answer to Him, our path will be much clearer. When I look back, I know I made the choice to change my major and work at a job where I could barely pay my bills because God had led me to it. Knowing this helped me to say no to the pressure to pursue a path that others deemed better. Man, when I tell you right now, like, I resonate with this right now because I'm not crying, girl. I just actually have an itch in the corner of my eye. Oof, God is the one who counts. And if we live to please Him, we will always make better decisions and we'll be better in the end. So, well, like, I'm not gonna lie, y'all, like, that's why I decided to definitely think 100 million times on the decision to pursue nursing, even though every time everybody asks me, tell them the same thing, I'm nursing, I'm not gonna explain because people at the end of the day they're not gonna care. They're just wanting to be nosy. Like, oh, what do you do? How do I know if I respect you? Like, bitch, you don't need to know all that. But yeah, it's not entirely the truth, but it's me saying the truth in a different way. Okay. So God is the one who counts, and if we live to please Him, we will always make better decisions, and it will be better in the end. Think about the next time you feel pressure to please someone, yet feel that the right decision is the one that they do not like. Picture yourself at a life review with God, having a conversation that goes like this: God, so why did you not take that opportunity I offered you? It was exactly what you wanted. Me or you? I know I really wanted to, and it would be best for me and others, but you know how upset da 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 would have gotten if I did. It would have been awful. God, you are right. Do would have gone through the roof and would have really been upset with you. And I have a meeting with do later in exactly 3 years, 2 months, 6 days, 7 hours, and 33 minutes. At that time, I'll be talking to do about his or her tendencies to get mad at people when they do not please him or her. That is a streak of selfishness that he or she never gave up, and I will take care of it. But do's life, not yours. You're responsible for your own choices. You are responsible for your own decisions, and do is responsible for how he or she responded to you. We're perfect timing, almost done. Don't worry, I will be bringing that up, but it's not your problem, then or now. But the fact that you have chose to give in to him or her is your problem, and I want to show you the life that you gave up by living the life that other people wanted. Watch that screen over there. So we just have just a little bit more, but I will say that I think that majority of the people on this earth have dealt with this exact problem. Yes, we realize that, oh my goodness, like, oh my God, I hate to be alone. Oh my God, we need people. Like, it's a balance of finding that in between. It's like a bridge. We shouldn't cut off something just because we be open to the different possibilities and the reasons and the factors that really go into this. So, yes, we need people. Yes, we need their opinions. Yes, we love to hear what they have to say or what they think about something or their point. But the real, true like factor to why we have people is for connection, collaboration, and did I say connection already? And compassion, I think also. But there's other C words that I probably can't come up with right now. But that's the thing. Submission to God is more important than the submission to other people's opinions. Especially in this chapter, it really opens your eyes on like this is something that we maybe unconsciously already do without realizing sometimes if we don't just pause for a second and be like, okay, so what am I really taking from this? Am I letting this opinion dictate me, or am I remembering to stay open and balanced to the different positions and propositions and perspective? But at the end of the day, I control my life. I have the free will. And if you choose to follow that nature of God or the divine or Christ consciousness, you'll know to make the right decision. Ooh, I don't know why you. Hold on. Anyway, we're almost done. So then you could see what could have been if only you had not tried to please someone else. Frightening, isn't it? Remember, whoever you are trying to please is accountable for his own life, and you are accountable for yours. Whenever you live for someone else, he controls two lives, his and yours. Yet we are the ones who will answer the life that is truly ours, the only one that God gives us. Staying mindful of that makes you a partner with God instead of with people who want to control you. And I feel like maybe like people won't have that, that consciousness clear level of wanting to, control, but it's kind of natural for us human tendencies to sin, have control, want to dictate, want to judge, but that's why we clock it when we get here. Okay, we got to clock that so that we can graduate. But here we go. Living to please God will bring you to the best version of yourself, the one He created you to be. It is not about being judged or condemned by God, but about choosing the best possible master in all the universe. Please Him and live the best life possible for you. Otherwise, you might have to watch it as a movie of what you choose not to live when you are pleasing someone else. So, yeah, that is chapter 4, and we are at 40 minutes. So, we are ending this on time, and I really am so grateful. But I think before chapter 5, there's just this little quote here that I'm going to read real quick. So, no discipline seems pleasant at the time, but painful. Later on, however, it produces a harvest of righteousness and peace for those who have been trained by it. Hebrews 12:11 NIV. Principle: never go back to avoiding short-term pain when it leads to long-term benefits. So I like that, but also I will probably have to write that down because yeah, so no discipline. Yeah, it seems pleasant at the time. So, oh God, being in the moment, like you, it is a little bit hard. It's something that we're all trying to practice. But, and yes, change is painful, everything's painful. But later on, which is in the future, that's where it kind of gets, a little bit confusing because everyone is saying something, okay? One, one, one. And it's really up to you to figure out. Oh, I'm sweating a little bit. Anyway, I'm ready to go. Bye, guys. Love you guys so much. I will write this down, but we're going to continue on chapter 5, all right? Bye, everyone. Love you all so much. Make sure to, keep staying tuned. And remember that I have a new book maybe every month, by every 2 weeks, to be exact. Estimated amount. But, all right. You guys take care. I'm ending the Twitch. Bye. I'm going to end the YouTube. And, yeah, I think